Okay, really great to have all you here and have such great coverage for our pro day. Really excited to see our former players. They've been back the past week training and working out here. All the players that are participating in the pro day today, they've either trained here or some other locations, and it's really good to see everybody. Everybody looks like they're in great shape. We're getting some really good results here today, and just excited about the day. Great exposure for our program. Many teams are here and so many representatives from their teams. So it's been a great week and excited about today.
Obviously, you guys saw a lot of potential in Will when you signed him from the transfer portal. But did you see top 10 draft pick at that moment, or did he have to kind of?
No, I don't think anybody can anticipate that. As I mentioned on the NFL Network, even with the NFL, and they have the ability to work guys out a lot more than we do. And the way they can vet players is a lot deeper than we're allowed to. And you see the mistakes there, right? You see guys outperforming where they're drafted, and you see guys, maybe drafted very high that don't perform up to it. And so you see it, you see surprises both ways. And with Will, we knew he was a very good football player, but it was hard to see the exact talent because there wasn't that many reps on film. It was nice that Liam knew him from high school and had a relationship with him, knew of him and watched him in high school. So we knew he was a big, strong guy, and with the throws that we did see when he was at Penn State, you saw the ability in his arm. Then he comes in, and he's such a great leader. He works so hard, and you got to give that credit to Will because of the work that he put in, the belief that he had in himself, and we're proud to be a part of it and to help him along this journey.
The pro day last year really helped Will when he was throwing to Wandale. How can maybe he pay that forward to some of the receivers that are catching for him today?
I think for Will, just for people to get their eyes on him, and and as I mentioned through this process, nobody's saying anybody's perfect, but Will doesn't have anything to hide from. The way he's going to throw today is going to throw some really well, and he's maybe going to miss a couple, but you know what? His talent speaks for itself, and when you're that good, go ahead and compete and put it on film. And our young players, maybe that he's going to throw here today, they'll see him and listen. They have a lot of work to do. So I love our players. You know that. I like to speak very highly of them, but let's not blow things up until they really produce on the field on a consistent basis. And that's where we need to take our program to another level. Is listen, we're proud of our guys. We like to promote them and all that, but listen, let's go put it on the field. Let's prove it. Let's get back to playing with a chip on our shoulder.
Mark, obviously the attendance here is really high, a big part because of Will, but how helpful is it for the other guys going through this pro day to have this number of people here?
It's really helpful, just the exposure and to get your eyes on these guys and to see them and get to know them. I've heard a lot of good things, not only here, but at the Combine and the pro teams that interview our players, the way they handle themselves, the leadership that they have, the way they speak fondly of their teammates in the program. It says a lot about who they are, and we're proud of them.
You see Chris's skill set.
I don't think there's any question Chris will, carry that to the NFL. You saw the production that he has, and you guys all know that. You cover us, and you know who we compete against. And if you could be productive in the SEC year after year and put it on film, I think that translates. And for Chris, he ran a really good time today, and he's going to do well in drills, and he's already done well through this process. So, Chris is going to do really big things, and I think he'll be a steady player in the NFL for a long time.
Mark, when you first got here and in your mind's eye envisioned what you wanted for Kentucky football, did any of all this figure into that? Did you see?
Well, honestly, that part of it, for myself, I wasn't really thinking about that. Listen, this exposure in being here, it could only help us, and really help our players. And without being one of those corny fake guys, but ultimately that is what it's about, is these guys. And I love these players and the former players coming back and being around our program and being around our guys and seeing them be successful and seeing the struggles that they had along the way and come out on the other side. That's what it's about. And our guys that are participating here today, the ups and downs that they've had through our career, the career here, and preparing them for life. And things come at us all. And hopefully they'll be better prepared.
Did you see Carrington's shuttle?
I did not. No. I know it's been good. I've heard it's been good, and he's got a great change of direction. I think he ran a really good 40 from what I hear. He's got the measurements, so good things for him.
Players that came back here to watch practice this day.
Pardon me?
Players that
Yeah.
came back and watched practice this day. What kind of input, what kind of instructions things do they have?
I really love
New
it.
guys.
Yeah, he's talking about the players that come back and they're watching practice, and I love it because actually some things happened and a few teaching moments happened right in front of them, and it's really good because they care. They want to help those players individually, but it helps us. And hearing it from a different voice and just talking about the little things that it takes, that's what it's about. Like I said, I just can't say enough. I've had just a big smile on my face all week because a lot of the former pros are back working out and hanging out with us, and love seeing them. And I love it when they can give back to the players and coach them a little bit and just reinforce the things that we're trying to teach them.
And at the same time, you have a lot of current players here too, watching all of this unfold. What can they learn about this process by being here today?
Well, they can learn a lot because they hear a lot of good things about themselves, and that's fine. I like promoting them too because they deserve that, but they also need to learn to stay hungry and compete and work to get better. This is just a starting point for many of them. No matter what year they are, they have to learn, and for forever through their time playing football, they're going to learn each and every opportunity, and they got to keep and stay in that mindset because none of us have arrived.
Only a few weeks left until this building gets renovated. How important is that to get that?
I'm really excited. Be nice. I hope we have the same coverage. We better have some guys step up because I'd like to have the same coverage next year when our facility here is completely done and renovated, and I think that's going to help us all. Just number one, with the function, being able to practice in here. We've been very fortunate this spring. I've come in here for maybe 20 minutes sometimes and go out until we go through our walkthrough, go through stretch, get warmed up, and go out and let the sun come up a little bit because we go early, as you know. But we've been fortunate with the weather this year. But just to be able to function and have the room and the space, it's going to really help us. And obviously, cosmetically, it'll look a lot better and nicer. And we're really excited about that.
Earlier, you highlighted Will's leadership ability. What characteristics or actions have you seen that separate him from other leaders that you've been around and coached?
Well, first thing is just self-awareness. All of us want to see leaders that lead by example and kind of set the tone. And he certainly does that. He's very critical and hard on himself first. And, so any leader, anybody at the top, and a guy like Will, we want to continue to elevate people, that are maybe lingering in no man's land. And so he's very selfless that way. He's very hard. He's very critical of himself. He wants to be the very best, and he trains and he works like that each and every day. That rubs off on people when they see that work ethic. And, he also has the voice. He leads, and he's stern when he needs to be.
Nobody gets.
Plan for Will today. What do you hope he will show, and what do you hope will also shine through?
Well, with Will, for me, I just want him to be Will. This is a day for him to just go out there and throw and compete and show people what he can do. There's a lot of people here that are making decisions and that are picking their spots in the draft. And for him, Will has nothing to hide. He has the ability. He has the leadership. He's done the right things away from the field for a long time. He's had the meetings, he's analyzed film, he's led, he's worked for a long time. And now it's just a matter of putting maybe throwing in front of some people that hadn't seen him throw live. And again, he has nothing to hide. He'll go out there and rip it. He's not perfect, but he can throw the football.
Mark, nobody gets dissected like the quarterbacks, and it seems like every time you turn the TV on, somebody's debating Will Levis. How has he handled all this, and what part of his makeup enables him to?
I think he's handled it really well, and and for him, he had the opportunity, unfortunately for us, to go through some adversity this past football season, right? And so you're already getting people analyzing you and critical and hard on you, and we talked about that during the season. I told him, hey, bud, this is going to prepare you, because when you start getting ready for that next level, it's going to be unbelievable at the next level, and the people talking and analyzing that. And listen, he owns his mistakes. He knows areas where he needs to improve, but he will. The thing about him is he's aware of that. One of the big things we teach in our program is self-awareness. We pound it in their head, because a lot of players, a lot of young people, a lot of us, all of us, you don't always have a lot of good self-awareness. And there's areas where we can address, where we can get better. and we have to have others point that out to us. So he's used to that, and he's very hard and very critical on himself, and he'll put it together. And again, he's not perfect, but he wants to go compete. He wants to lead. He wants to be the best, and so he'll get it done.
Couple more. Part of that adversity that you're talking about was a change in the offense for his junior season. What did you see in Will's ability to adapt to that new offense that could go into his rookie season where he's going to be learning another playbook?
Well, I think the big thing is just what you're talking about, the amount of volume that he has in his head and the many different offensive coordinators he's had throughout his career. And for one thing, just the ability with this pass system to be able to spit out all that information and process it and see all the shifts, the motions, and then they go execute. It's been a lot on his plate. I've talked to many different people in the NFL, and that adversity and the adversity we've gone through is not always a bad thing, for them and their evaluation. They're able to dig deep and really evaluate into that. We all know when it's a clean pocket, when things are beautiful, when there's 10-5 starts to throw to, and how pretty that looks. We're not blessed with that opportunity. So, I think there's a lot of film for people to watch with Will.
What's your reaction when you hear those mistakes when you turn the TV on? You're saying he's not accurate enough, or he's not this enough.
I really, honestly, no offense to all you, I don't really listen to a lot of that. You know what I mean? So I really don't. I'm not saying I'm oblivious to it, and I haven't seen a little bit and very quickly some of the things on NFL Network or whatever, but that's to be expected. So he's prepared for that. Again, nobody's hiding from anything here. We never do. And like I said, self-awareness is a big thing for us. And for him, I think any great one, a lot of the doubt is going to motivate you. And for him, he's already extremely driven. It just can't affect him in a negative. Like today, just go out there and be him. He has nothing to hide, and I hope you just see his best today because he has that ability.
Okay, folks, thank you very much.
Good. Thank you.